Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Republique. But calm down guys, pretty please. I promise I will be playing other ships in the near future. But it's so good. And I just happened to get a bunch of good games in one night when I was playing this, so you're kind of getting the fallout from that. And these videos have done really well, which means you guys like to see the Republique, so you can't blame me for showing more of them. But this one was one of those where I got put into a lobby really late. It was one of those where I was in a queue for like 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And so I knew I was going to get sucked into a Xbox-only lobby, because that's what happens usually if you stay in queue too long. And so yeah, we did. We ended up in a 6 versus 6, which is an interesting situation. And I'll be honest, I was really looking forward to it. And this match is going to show you just how disgusting this ship is. It's disgusting, okay? If you didn't have any idea, it's disgusting. Alright? In a 6v6, watch what I end up making fun. I basically just make fun of the enemy team in this lobby. Not gonna lie. It's really disgusting. But it's going to showcase the strengths of this ship really well. And it's also going to highlight a weakness of this ship really well later in the match. So, with that being said, I hope you guys are enjoying these games in the Tier 8s. Republique, if you don't understand by now, this ship is ridiculously good. Okay? If you're a battleship main and you've been looking for a battleship to potentially, like, you know, get a premium battleship, it's going to earn you some potential credits and also do really well. Republique is it, guys. Like, this is the second coming of the Jean Bart. If you missed out on the Jean Bart, this is very good. I'm not saying it's as good, it's as broken as the Jean Bart was when it came out, because this will be up against Yamis right from the gate, but it's still very good. Now, it has some weaknesses, obviously, but when utilized properly, this thing is actually pretty disgusting. And you can see we dodged the first set of shells coming in barely. Now, the one big weakness that nobody's really talked about with this ship is that it just doesn't have a lot of hit points. It really doesn't. And when you couple that with the fact that this thing, if you go broadside, does give up citadels, you gotta be very careful. Now, we've got Republique straight across the bow of us. We got two of them out there. We don't really have a very good shot, but we're gonna take one here at the front Republique. I lied. We're not going to take one at the Republique. We have a main. Main is the guy that took a shot at us at the beginning of the match. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can't return fire on him. And then the torpedoes come by us, which tells us where the destroyer is. Obviously, he was in A. He already captured the base, but he tried to torp us as well. So I'm glad we turned in. We got a good shot out at the main. He's kind of begging for it, so we're going to get a good result out of this first salvo. We get 11K. Not a bad start, okay? Now, watch what we're about to do here. We're going to go bow into this main. And I know, I'm a bot. Peak says so. He says, oh, you know, if you bow taken in the Republique, you played it wrong, blah, 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 blah. Well, how many times have you broken 200K in the Republique, Peak? Just saying. We're about to have another pretty close to 200K game in this ship. It's ridiculous. I've already scored two 200K games in this, and I've had 2 games in this where I've been brushing up against 200K, and this will be another one. So keep that in mind. Like, the ship is very good, and just because I don't play it the way you play it doesn't mean that I'm like no idea what I'm doing. But Jean Bart broadside on. We're bow tanking the main because we can, and so we're gonna focus fire the Jean Bart because we have a crossfire, and this is what these ships are designed to do. I don't care what anybody says about kiting to the back of the map or trying to angle the ship. All that's well and good, but getting crossfires is what makes these ships amazing. It's what makes the Republique so good. It's what makes the Kansas and the Montana so good. The Iowa, you know, Georgia, if it could ever land a shot for me. Like, those are the ships that you want. Those well, Kansas isn't fast, but it still lives and dies by the crossfires if you can get into position. But you can see we're ripping the side of this Jean Bart apart. There's nothing he can do. He can't angle against everybody. He's got battleships out in front of him. He's got me out to the broadside of him. He does juke me out a little bit by going forward and probably using his engine boost to do so, because he got moving from reverse pretty quickly. Maybe he's a propulsion mod battleship too, but you can see he's kind of just, he's throttle jockeying. Is what I call it. The main, however, hasn't figured out how to do any damage to me because he's still just shooting at the front of my ship. And we end up launching those shells a little too high. But again, there's only so much this guy can do. He's done a pretty good job of negating damage from me so far. But you're gonna die eventually. You're giving up the broadside of your ship to me. I can only miss so many times. Eventually, I'm gonna figure out what you're doing, and I'm gonna punch you right in the mouth. Case in point. And we take all of the remaining hit points off of him, leaving him with just enough for somebody else to get the kill. I say that as we're about to take another shot at his broadside because we do have a really good reload in this thing. So maybe we get the kill after all. And now that we know that that Jean Bart's dead, we go ahead, we turn our attention to the main that's in front of us. Now, we get a Citadel, of course, we get that Pitadel going out on the Jean Bart. You love to see that. But we're going to turn out, we're going to angle, and we're going to get the rear gun involved here. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, Spartan, why are you going broadside? I'm not. I'm actually angled, and this thing does have decent belt armor. If we can bait this guy into... Watch that shot into the superstructure. Ouch. 13,000 damage. That's nasty from only 2 turrets. Like, remember, that's only 8 shells going at the target. Remember? This doesn't have the heaviest broadside in the world. But man alive, can they be railguns at times. And when you do get dispersion, it's generally horizontal, which means while I'm shooting at a battle tanking opponent, not the greatest, even though we're getting some pretty good RNG, if somebody gives you a broadside in this thing, it's a wrap. Like, these 17-inch guns slap. And they have really, really good penetration. Those French magic bullets don't play around. And when you throw in the fact that this thing has 17-inch guns and can actually overmatch 30 millimeters, that means, Edinburgh, you're not safe anymore either. So you got a lot more people overmatching you at tier 8. But again, we're just chunking the superstructure, taking what the guy gives us. We're not getting huge chunks off of him, but slowly over time, we're actually whittling this guy down. We're potentially breaking his guns too. You can see I'm aiming just above that second turret, and we're going for those superstructure hits. And you can see there's another 9,500 or 10,000 damage, something like that. So and our secondaries are starting to get involved because he's starting to push forward, which is actually a huge mistake on his part because remember what I said about these secondaries. They are very accurate. And these 150s or 152s or whatever these big secondaries are, they're nasty. You can see a little bit of that horizontal dispersion coming in there, but we still managed to hit 5 out of 8 shells at this range. And you can see he is starting to regret pushing into our secondaries as he's on fire. The secondaries don't play around either. I pointed that out against the destroyers, but really, I mean, these 150s are pretty good against everything. They set fires pretty consistently, and then between that and us chunking his Citadel or his superstructure, he's not really got anything he can do. We're already at 120,000 damage, by the way. Only 2 people have died. We've killed 1 of them, and we've almost taken all the health off of another tier 8 battleship. I mean, JB is a tier 7, but you know what I'm saying. We've almost taken all the health off of this tier 8 battleship. And we knock out a turret. He's still burning. He's doing everything he can. He goes ahead, he uses his damage con there. And knowing that he used his damage con, we're getting rushed by a Republique. Now here's where we get to showcase the downside of a Republique. Now everybody likes to talk about, oh, this thing has turtleback armor. No, it doesn't. Just assume that this thing has no turtleback. You get this close, you're going to get punched. We go right through the bow side plating with the front gun. We actually hit the belt, which is not where we wanted to hit. But we still have the rear gun. And as we wait for a better opportunity, we go through the superstructure, or go through the bow side plating. We destroy his front guns, which is pretty rare. And then, of course, we've got the rear guns, and now we can go straight into that Citadel and go right through the rear turret as well. And we get 3 Citadels up close and personal, just showcasing it. Brawling, this thing is still very susceptible to being removed. Now we've got 14,000 damage left, like 14,000 hit points. We see the Sumner out there. We're going to go ahead and try to get the rear guns to spin around, but unfortunately he disappears. We do have a cap. They have a cap. We have a destroyer behind us. We're trying to get our butt moving. You can see he's trying to set us on fire, so we're trying to get ourselves moving. We're going to go ahead and take the shot at him, which is actually a dumb play by me because it allows him to see me. But we do hit him, and I'm surprised we didn't kill him, to be honest. But he does get a fire on us, but I'm pretty sure that we can survive this fire as long as we don't take any more damage from this guy. And again, we have the points lead. There's no reason for us to do anything crazy. The Sumner actually dies here. I don't know if somebody else shot him or if we actually killed him there. I didn't pay attention. But the Sumner actually died. And that just leaves the cruiser on the other side of the map, which I believe is a Japanese cruiser. And for some reason, this Japanese cruiser has absolutely handed my battleships a big fat L on that other side of the map. He's got 2 battleships over there. This Japanese cruiser should be dead meat every single time. Now, obviously, we managed to survive with 2,500 hit points left. We do have a base cap. They have a cap behind us, but with 2 battleships versus 1 cruiser, we should be able to win this match, and all we got to do is survive. Now, I look over and I realize one of our battleships just died. Our other battleship is pretty healthy, but I can't rely on him to win this fight. He's in a new Izumo, and I got to assume that up to this point he's not really done anything. Maybe he has, but I mean, if he's this healthy this late in the match, he probably hasn't been that helpful for the team. So I can't rely on him to win it for me. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go back across and get as close to this mountain as I can. I do get spotted here, which is actually terrible. This guy pushed up into the cap, and he's actually in a perfect position to start shooting me. Now, I don't think he does shoot at me initially, because he doesn't want to get spotted. He knows that I could potentially remove him, and he knows that the Izumo is behind him somewhere. I look away for a split second, and that's when the cruiser gets spotted, and he's moving forward, and he's behind the mountain again. So the good news is, he can't shoot me, but I can't shoot him either. Now, Izumo manages to punch and take half of the health off the Mogami, but Mogami's still very healthy, still has torpedoes on both sides of his ship that he can launch at that Izumo if he's not paying attention. And because the Izumo pushes him back off the cap, we don't have to worry about losing this match on points as long as our battleship survives. That's a key. We need to survive as the team. And because I can't get in a fight with a Mogami. One salvo of HE from that Mogami probably kills me. And when I see the torpedoes on the way to that battleship, I'm like, oh god, he's dead. I just assume they look pretty good, but I can't see from their side, so I have no idea. But looks like the battleship did a pretty decent job of avoiding them. And you can see I'm looking for any potential window to shoot through this island as our Izumo manages to take even more health off of that Mogami, leaving him with just enough to potentially torp him. But Izumo gets his guns loaded, finishes him off. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I know it was a bit of a crazy match. It was only a 6v6, but 197,000 damage in a 6v6 is pretty friggin' impressive. Dreadnought, high caliber, obviously. We're going to be top of the leaderboard, obviously. 2757 base XP. So let me know what you guys think. Is the Republique all that I'm making it out to be? Or am I just being a big fat doofus? And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.